everyone. I really don't know what I'm doing here. I got asked 3am night last night if I could do a Ignite. And who could possibly say no to Kate Cole? So I thought I'd tell you about an issue that came up a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, that's not really news then, is it? The project was a rail embankment stabilisation works at Lithgow Station, and I was asked to be there because on stage one they found a couple of bits of asbestos cement that caused absolute chaos and mayhem. But that's a story for another day. My role included site induction, asbestos awareness training, inspections of unknown materials that might turn up, providing a reassuring presence on site, doing air monitoring too. Well, I'm not really sure what the air monitoring was for, but it was asbestos job, so we did it. The work was carried out over the weekend track possession, so on Friday afternoon, packed up the gear, completed the checklist to make sure I had everything, and set off for Lithgow. We were setting up in a site lab, and I didn't unpack until the Monday evening. And shock horror, I'd forgotten the acetone vapor generator. To make matters even worse, I didn't even take a Bunsen burner with me. So I reverted to the hierarchy of response. A bit like the hierarchy of control, but upside down. Forget the first two. I'll go on to, I could make an excuse, but I'm sure that's well against the code of practice of the Institute. I could call for help, but I'm sure a mate wouldn't be interested at 6 o'clock on a Saturday, so I had to do it myself. So I looked around, took stock of what I had some duct tape, and every self-respecting journalist would know that that's the tool for an occupational hygienist. I had my toolkit, some bags, and I looked around the hotel room for what I might be able to use. Remarkably how similar it was to the hotel rooms here, isn't it? And then I had an epiphany. But before I could act on the epiphany, I dutifully sat down, prepared my self-work risk assessment, my safe work method statement. I locked the door, chained the door so that I wouldn't be disturbed, and got to work. So the objectives of an acetone vapor generator are to turn acetone into vapor so that you can squirt it over the surface of a microscope slide. It changes the cellulose ester to cellulose acetate, makes it transparent. Started with model number 1 on the Saturday night, needed a few improvements, so I raced down to the hardware shop on Sunday and found this wonderful little angle piece from an irrigation system, 94 cents. Wrapped some duct tape around it so I fitted in the acetone bottle, filled up the kettle, boiled it, put the acetone in the kettle. Didn't quite come out fast enough, so I turned it on, boiled it a bit more, and I got this beautiful stream of acetone vapor coming out. As you can see in the next 2 slides coming up. So I was going pretty well now. Anyway, you can see there, I hope you can see there anyway, nice even jet of acetone vapor. I put the slides underneath. They cleared wonderfully well. I set them aside, put the cover slips on them, and you'll see it again coming up. Pretty good job. Just like a normal acetone vapor. It actually worked better than the one that I was going to take with me. But you need another thing. So wait, there's more. So the 94 cents that I spent on the acetone vapor generator, you also got a hot block for free. In the hotel room, I noticed that there was a metal rubbish bin. And to my great joy, it had a screw-on lid. So I unscrewed the lid, put the slides on top of the lid, put the lid on top of the kettle, and turned it on. And there I had my hot block. The slides cleared wonderfully in about 1 or 2 minutes, and I got to analyse them. So what lessons can we learn from this? You need to be careful when you agree to things, especially at 3am nights. Don't panic. I've always subscribed to that phrase out of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Make sure you carry duct tape with you. When things don't work, go back to first principles and think about it. And innovation can solve just about anything. But if you don't ever get there, you just better damn well hope that MacGyver comes along.